Hey everyone! Welcome to the Turkish Spotlight Secrets channel. All the juicy details are in this video, and you won't want to miss a second. Don't forget to subscribe and share before we dive in. Thank you so much. The atmosphere was already buzzing when Barış Arduç stepped onto the stage to present his new project, but no one could predict what would unfold next. His calm confidence and light-hearted humor kept the press relaxed as microphones lined the front row and cameras clicked into position. Then, just as the first questions began, a door at the back slid open and Elcin Sangu walked in, unannounced, unplanned, and completely magnetic. In an instant, the air changed. Heads turned, whispers rose, and the entire room refocused as if drawn by a single pulse. Journalists who moments earlier were debating angles now scrambled, hands shot up, and the rhythm of the press conference shifted from a regular launch to a live-wire moment that had everyone on edge. Barış smiled when he saw her, that familiar, easy grin that has charmed audiences for years, and waved her closer as if this were all a secret they had both been in on. But the truth, according to what we learned afterward, is that nobody expected her. That made the surprise palpable. Authentic, fresh, and thrilling. Elcin's presence lit the room with the kind of warmth only she can bring. She greeted the crowd with a soft nod, then took a seat near the front, crossing her legs and listening attentively as Barış continued his introduction. Yet the questions no longer came only for him. Reporters were calling her name, asking what she knew about the project, and whether she could hint at anything the team hadn't said yet. Playfully, she teased the room, suggesting that she had seen a little of what's cooking and that audiences would be shocked, in the best way, by the direction of this new work. That alone was enough to send phones into overdrive. Throughout the event, they slipped into a rhythm that felt almost choreographed, though it clearly wasn't. He handled the technical queries with poise and surprising candor, then sprinkled in humor to keep the mood light. She nudged him with a mischievous remark here and there, prompting laughter. When a journalist asked about their dynamic, Barış leaned into the mic and said with a half-smile that good timing is half the job, and that seeing a familiar face at the right moment makes everything easier. Elcin nodded and added that support is a love language in itself, especially when a friend stands on the edge of a big leap. That line sparked cheers and a wave of applause. A flurry of follow-ups poured in. Who invited her? Was she just stopping by? Was this coordinated by the team, or was it something else entirely? The organizing staff exchanged looks that made the answer obvious: it hadn't been prearranged. The spontaneity only escalated the tension in the room. Each glance exchanged between them was catalogued, every quick smile framed by the lenses hovering at the edge of the stage. When a reporter boldly asked whether the two might reunite on screen, the energy broke into good-natured laughter. Barış scratched the back of his neck and said he could neither confirm nor deny, and that everyone should watch this space. Elcin, with that understated charm she wielded so well, simply offered, "When the story is right, the rest is easy." The press loved it. The cameras loved it. And the internet? The internet went into meltdown. Within minutes, photos of them side by side began flooding social platforms. Clips of their playful banter were spliced into reels, stitched with fan edits, and replayed with captions that turned speculation into a trending topic. Fans, some still nostalgic about their iconic on-screen chemistry, others simply thrilled to see them in the same frame, fired off thousands of comments. Are they teasing a reunion? Is this a sign? Will they work together on the new project? Those questions echoed across timelines, climbing into top trends before the conference even ended. Still, amid the frenzy, the original purpose of the day remained intact, and that was because of how they navigated it together. Barış stayed focused on his vision, laying out the bones of the project with clarity while revealing just enough to tease the audience's imagination. Elcin's unexpected arrival added color to that blueprint, hints of red on a black and white drawing, if you will. When she mentioned that the script carried a beating heart and brave choices, the room went quiet for a moment, the kind of hush that only falls when people sense something real. Then came the laughs again, because she couldn't resist nudging him about his long nights at the office, his ritual of pacing while thinking, and his habit of rewriting scenes at the last minute. He took it in stride, confessing with a grin that he chases the moment when a scene suddenly breathes. Later, during the Q&A, a reporter asked if there was a risk in bringing so much attention to a project still under wraps. Barış answered with a steady voice, "Passion always carries risk, but it also carries momentum." He thanked the press for their curiosity and gently reminded them that every project deserves room to grow. Then he glanced at Elcin, and for a second they looked like co-conspirators standing at the threshold of something. That moment became a freeze frame all across social media. The culmination of the event felt like a scene written for them. As the conference wrapped up, the room didn't empty. It swelled forward. Photographers called their names, asking for a shot together. They obliged, stepping side by side in front of the backdrop, Barış slightly angled toward her, Elcin's hand resting lightly along her side, both of them relaxed and smiling. Flash after flash captured the calm certainty in their gaze. The shared history, the electric present, and the tantalizing possibility of what might come next. Those photos traveled faster than any press release. Journalists who minutes earlier were carefully taking notes now summarized the whole day in one statement: this was the most talked about moment in the entertainment world. But the show wasn't just in the photo pit. Backstage whispers suggested that even the production team had been caught off guard by her arrival. One crew member, still clutching a headset, reportedly said, "We didn't plan this, but somehow it's exactly what the event needed." Another remarked that the energy in the room doubled the second she walked in. That energy was not lost on fans. Comment sections overflowed with declarations about their natural rapport, praise for their warmth, and thoughtful observations about how they respect each other's craft. Many repeated a hopeful refrain, "They belong in a new story together." And the more the clip circulated, the louder that chorus became. Their exchanges were witty without being forced, affectionate without being showy. He knew when to step back and let her speak, she knew when to lift up his ideas and let him own the moment. At several points, Barış motioned for a question directed at him to be shared with her. It wasn't choreography. It was trust, lived out in real time. The longer they stood there, the more the event turned from an ordinary launch into a celebration. It felt like a promise kept between artists and their audience, to give a little truth, to share a little laughter, and to leave just enough unsaid to keep hearts racing. Through it all, the press kept trying to pin them down. "Are you two officially working on something together? Is the door open? Is the script already out there, waiting to be announced?" He responded with a chuckle that doors are always open when the right story knocks. She added, with a glint, "Sometimes the right story knocks louder than expected." That exchange ricocheted through timelines. Fan pages turned it into headlines, captions, even merch mock-ups within hours. The trend graphs climbed. By evening, the clip was everywhere. What began as a simple press gathering transformed into a landmark moment. Journalists who came for bullet points left with a memory. Fans who clicked in to watch a routine stream stayed to witness a spark that felt impossible to fake. And while the room eventually emptied and the lights dimmed, the questions hummed in the air like a chorus that refused to fade: will they join forces again? Can that chemistry, so obvious on screen and unmistakable in person, find its way into a new project? In the quiet after the cameras stopped, someone close to the team murmured that Elcin had come purely to support him, making the decision on her own and slipping into the venue without fuss. If that's true, and all signs suggest it is, then her presence was not a strategic gambit but an act of solidarity. Perhaps that is why the encounter felt so alive. It wasn't planned. It was felt. The day ended with the production banner behind them and the echo of applause still hovering in the hallways. He thanked everyone again, she waved from near the exit, and the buzz followed them like a tide spilling out onto the street. Even as night fell, the story only grew. Posts kept multiplying, and every angle was analyzed, the shared looks, the overlapping laughs, the easy way they navigated the spotlight together. The industry will be talking about this for a while. Whether it becomes the prologue to a new collaboration or remains a moment we all treasure on its own, It has already cemented itself as one of those rare instances when a press event becomes a cultural heartbeat. And that is where we leave you tonight. A gathering that should have been ordinary became pure electricity because one person walked into the room and everything changed. Barış Arduç held the stage with grace, Elcin Sangu turned the afternoon into a story. Together, they reminded everyone why their names, spoken side by side, still send a thrill through audiences everywhere. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets and share it with friends who follow every twist of this captivating duo. Goodbye for now, and keep your notifications on, because if the right story does come knocking, you'll want to be the first to know.